Embrace the challenge, because you never know when it won't be here.
All I see is Embra the challenge.
They kind of started it off nice and slow and get us in the mood for everything.
Was I slick?
No.
Well, then don't buy me these Amazon mics that don't work, okay?
Oh, shots fired. Eric's came from Best Buy. Raquel's came from Temu.
Da Bears.
We wanted the smoke, so let's bring the fire. We're igniting the drama and chaos. This is Matches and Mayhem. We are your ride or die host, Nora, the Vendetta Queen, Raquel, the Cutthroat Contessa, Victor, the Duel Master, and Iraq, the Double Agent. Get ready for a reckoning as we dive into the gauntlet of Season 40 of the Challenge, Battle of the Eras.
Look at us. Look at us. How cute. I love it. Listen, it's been 2 weeks. Embrace the challenge, because you never know when it won't be here.
All I see is Embra the challenge.
That works too. Embra the challenge. All right. Just in case people forgot about what went down this week, let's get into our 1 minute meltdown for episode An Era Tradition. All right. Deals are falling apart, and the beefs, they're heating up. Nehemiah is trying to cut deals with Devin, but Devin's playing him like Ice Spice playing a munch. Why? Because Devin lives for this, and Need just got played. Josh, meanwhile, is dodging CT like his life depends on it. But it's settled, people. The Vacation Alliance is officially a thing, and you can't deny it. On the Daily Challenge Fast Pass, Era 1 is a mess. CT and Tina are clashing, and the vets are looking hella rusty. Era 3 took too much ego, not enough teamwork. And Era 2, Laurel's throwing the challenge like Ice Spice throws that back. All right, enough Ice Spice. But Era 4, Colin and Olivia, straight up killers. They crushed it. The feud between Cara and Laurel is getting real messy. Some wounds are deeper than scars from Hall Brawl, guys. In Elimination, getting hammered, Tina came in swinging, and Emily didn't stand a chance. And Nehemiah, sweet, sweet redemption. He outsmarted CT with his strategy while CT tried to muscle through it. Big win for Nee. And Victor's squad, it's in shambles. But will they rise like a phoenix from the ashes? Fuck no. That's a 1 minute meltdown.
Yeah, that was kind of brutal, man. I mean,
That was.
don't worry. I mean, it's not over. I still have faith that we'll bounce back. Still early.
I mean, my apologies. I think Laurel's toxicity is kind of like getting into my veins.
Rubbing off on you.
Like Ice Spice's orange hair dye.
You were Ice Spice.
I don't know. He was on the dome this week.
All right. Well, do we dive in? I mean, should we just get right into the pool party? Do we just start right there at the
Let's
beginning
do
of the
it.
episode? We had some kissing. We had some talking. We had just a little bit of everything.
People were making out. It was like the calm before the storm. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Some of us were getting points with our beautiful couple on our team making out. I appreciate that.
Not Josh.
Aw.
Wait, so what? Who was Naya was making out with Kylan in that one, right?
Yeah, it was such a sexy shot. Like, it was very sensual. It wasn't like, I don't know, like they didn't overdo it with the sex, but it was just like, it was just really nice to see them both having a good time by the pool. It was cute.
And I don't think I remember that part. Where was Josh? Was he like in the corner watching, or like
I think he was playing volleyball or something.
had some binoculars in the corner? Should be me. It should be me.
It should have been me, not him! It's not fair!
Yeah, until CT came over with the stakes, and then he hid because he didn't want none of that smoke. He he was trying to justify to his team, like, listen, I heard right before I went in, if I volunteered, I was gonna go in against CT. Bollocks, yo, pure bullshit. I don't even like. We don't need to hear it, man. You got scared. But it is what it is.
But to me, that made it even worse that you're that terrified that you were like, you just froze up and didn't tell nobody. But that's Josh. Doing Josh things.
That is. Mm-hmm.
I will say one of my favorite scenes of the whole episode is CT when he's walking with all the stuff and his half-eaten ice cream. It's just the CT we love. I love it. It's just so like a teddy bear. Who doesn't love CT?
CT dad mode was on 100,000 million. You love to see it. He was preparing the steaks, walking around with the spices. You know, telling everybody you got to eat it medium rare. That's the best way to eat it. You know, he was telling that to people. Like
100%.
It was nice to see. It looked like Emily was getting her flowers too. You had Brad like talking her up and things like that. That was cute too.
That's a nice relationship. I wouldn't mind, having like, I wouldn't mind seeing that flourish on the show. Because I don't know, she doesn't strike me as someone that like Brad would normally go for, but I also don't know his type. But it would have been interesting to see them. It seems like he really, really liked her.
I don't know. Do you think when she left, he was kind of like, I wanted her to win, but I also wanted my team to win. So good riddance. Kind of thing. I was like, oh shit, all right.
He was. It, but you said it.
No, he seemed kind of bummed. I don't know. Maybe I read into it too much, but he seemed kind of bummed.
Actually, that comment made me like Brad more because he's like, I really like her, but in the end, my team comes first because, like we said at the beginning in episode 1, at the end of the day, this is about bringing the money home to your family, and whether that family be you, yourself, you and your spouse or kids or your parents or uncle, I don't care who it is, you're bringing home that money. So that's, I don't know, maybe Brad's maturing, and I think she's the perfect calm to his high energy level when he gets hypey. You know, she's very calm and level-headed, so I think it's a good balance for them.
Yeah.
And shout out to Brad. I think he has a couple of sons, but he hasn't mentioned that he's doing this for them yet. Has he lost points for mentioning it? That makes me like him more.
No, he hasn't.
He's just like, I'm gonna keep it locked tight. Who cares about that? I'm just coming here to get the money and get laid.
Focused.
In that order.
Yeah. Yeah, in that order, yeah.
Well, then that brings me to the next point, is we go right into some deal making right away. We already have some talking going on real early. So, we had the nice little pool party. We're all having fun. And then it started getting in where we knew this episode was going to start spiraling right away.
Are we talking about Nehemiah and Devin?
Yes.
That was cringe. Just watching Nehemiah basically on his hands and knees begging was kind of cringe.
I feel like he was trying to channel his inner Wes, and it didn't work out for him at all. Yeah. But hey, shout outs to Wes for his company made top 5,000 fastest growing companies. Hire me.
We want to read your CV? No, that's what's up. Good for him.
But yeah, that was sad to watch. And then the double back that he tried to do when he got called out on it. He was like, I never said that. I said I take care of my friends, or my relationships mean something to me. Like, come on. We all know what you were trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Was anybody surprised by Devin's response? I mean, or did we kind of... Is that Devin, the way he kind of responded, saying, I don't want to make a deal this early because what if something better presents itself?
Yeah, that's smart of him. I mean, Devin is, I mean, the interaction with Nehemiah and Devin when they were at the table, I thought it was like a little manipulative, but also Nehemiah had it coming. Like, Devin is very strategic. He doesn't, I don't know if Nehemiah has been watching the challenge when he's not on it, but he should know how Devin plays, and that's just not his style to just make deals with. He's not Josh. He's not going to make deals with you and your mama. He's going to sort of like think about it and see what's going to be best for him. So I wasn't surprised at Devin's reaction. I think it was merited because Nehemiah wants to talk all this like lies and make it seem that Era 3 went up to him to try to make a deal. That never happened. So he should just tell the truth.
Well,
He was a little scared.
I see it just slightly different. I agree with you that Nehemiah was doing way too much early on, but this is why Devin is a master, only getting better at this game. Because what I saw, it wasn't that like Nehemiah was like, let's make. Devin opens the door. He makes it sort of known. He's like, hey, I'm open to dealing. He said it at the deliberation. He's like, listen, Tori's my number one girl, but I'm open for my number one guy. So he like dangles a carrot, and then somebody bites who's desperate, and then he's just like, oh, Nehemiah, oh, this is good to know. Yeah, I'll think about it, but I have to talk to Tori. Like, he invites that in to gather information, to get people, like interested, and just so he can use it. But I will say, this vacation alliance is a thing.
It is a thing.
100%.
It is a thing.
Like, so his whole thing where it's just like, no, I'm open and honest. You're still trying to deny that there's a foursome here that's working together that you're gonna look out for, and that it may be potentially growing, and that you're working with Era 4. So like he's just really good at hiding it, or like this deceiving or leading people on. So I commend it. I'm not against that. Commend it.
But is it deceiving if Nehemiah interpreted it that way? Because it's not like Devin said to him, I'm looking for my number one guy and I would love for you to, hop on the bandwagon. He just said something. It was like he was thinking out loud. So is it deceiving for Nehemiah? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, is he actually deceiving him if that's the perception that Nehemiah, the interpretation that he made on his own?
That's the art of it. It is, but it can be spun a different way, and that's why he's a genius. Which leads me to something that I want to kind of I want to share a little bit, because I think this deal making is just getting so juicy. A little bit of the do's and don'ts of deal making, and I think we saw a lot of it on display this episode. So let's go. Number 1, don't be the first to offer the deal. Alliances should come organically, or at least your target should see it or should think that it is organic. Going to them and asking for a deal makes you look like you're doing too much. Do put in the work to manipulate people into thinking they're your number one. Remember, it's not about what you say, it's about what they think is happening. Don't be that guy or gal who tries to think 3 steps ahead. I'm looking at you, John A. Play the game as it comes to you. Don't be doing too much. And I think that was CT's pro tip this week. Do negotiate from a position of strength. Make deals when you're on top and when you're a winner. Not when you're clawing your way from the bottom and you're trying just to get a life jacket. Remember, if you have to beg, you're already in elimination. And the number 1 don't is don't lie. Secrets don't stay secrets for long on the challenge, and we don't believe you. You need more people. I think Nehemiah broke 3 of those rules.
Yeah, easy.
Right there.
Easy.
Is there any other rules that I missed?
No, I think it brings me back to when Johnny said it matters most is when you say it. Like, when you're trying to make these deals matters, not when you're at the bottom, like you said. Like,
Right.
it matters. That matters to me as a competitor, is like, when are you trying to beg me to be on my side and work with me? When you have no other option, well then, do I really care to work with you? Do I really need to be... Like, you're not offering me anything. You have nothing to offer when you're in that position.
Yeah, I think they're the best friends aren't made from necessity. They're made from a look of charity. So.
One segment, or like, one thing that I thought was interesting was when Olivia was so appalled about Josh and how she feels that he should have done this and he should have went in and he should have spoken up. And she was so appalled that she trusted him so much to do this one thing and he didn't do it. And I'm just like, look who the fuck is talking.
Damn.
Like, really? You're appalled? Like, say that to Neresa's face. Like, really? I couldn't.
She said, I want to work with dogs, not people who are scared. I'm like, you should not be talking about a scared game.
Yeah. She did look nice this episode, I have to say. Like, whoever did her makeup and her wardrobe did a really good job. So.
Yeah. But I agree. I thought the same thing. I was like, he can't be trusted. I don't know. I wouldn't say you have the best.
It's karma. It's karma.
Best standing.
Right.
And mainly, it's just because, what did she say? Because, like, I know you have a lot of friends, so we wouldn't have gotten called in if you were, like, called up. I mean, girl.
Yeah.
So, Victor, somebody who studies at the Temple of West, Master Manipulator, what do you think of Devin's tactic here? Do you think he actually is playing an honest game, or did he lead Nehemiah to think something that probably wasn't happening?
Well, he definitely led Nehemiah. Nehemiah was just a lamb to the slaughter in that one. But Devin comes also from the school of Wes. Wes trained him. He's one of Wes's students. He learned from Wes. Wes even gave up his spot one challenge in an elimination so Devin could win. So I think he learned from Wes, and I think he improved on Wes and learned what Wes did wrong, and he kind of just improved on it. So now I don't think Devin lies, and he said it already. He said it before. He said basically that he never lies, and like whatever he says is what he does. And people kind of know that if he promises you something, he's gonna follow through. Doesn't mean he's not gonna lie and deceive other people, but if he makes a direct promise with you, you're gonna keep it. So I think he has this kind of cool hybrid gameplay style where he's truthful but also deceitful at the same time.
I don't know. I don't like this because I feel like I understand that there's a line here, but if I say something and someone interprets that a certain way, I didn't do anything. So Devin is the same way. So I can't think of a time where Devin promised someone something and then lied. Can you guys think of something? Like, did he ever lie and say, I got your back and didn't? Or did he say, I can have your back until a certain point, then I can't, or something like that? Or, I don't know. I don't think he's walking around lying.
No, it's not about lying. It's about he let Nehemiah think that they were in a certain place. He didn't say, yes, we're making a deal. He said, I'm open to a deal, and I'll bring it to Tori because we have to make the decision as a team. If you hear that as Nehemiah, I'm like, okay, so he's not totally against me. He's open to it, and he thinks it may be a good idea. It's just that he needs some input. It's not I'm not doing that, or I'm gonna stab you in the back later with that information.
Yeah, I think that was like a rookie move on Nehemiah's part, and he's not a rookie. It's like you should know a little bit better than to just run with that. You can't do that. Like, he should have walked with him, like, okay, let's go talk to Tori together or something like that. But you can't just take someone's word for it and run with
I
it.
have a question that I'm kind of curious about this Vacation Alliance before we move on. Out of who's left, all of our competitors, who's going to be the first to take a swing at getting rid of the Vacation Alliance? Because we know no group of any more than 2 or 3, even 2 couples, somebody's going to have to take a swing and break them up. Who is it going to be?
Johnny. It's gonna be Johnny, probably. Maybe.
I think Rachel. I think she's fed up. She is fed up.
But is she on the block?
Well,
What
it
does
doesn't
that
have to
mean?
be
She
right
is.
now.
Like, does she have the power because... Oh, she is? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know
yeah.
Johnny is. Okay.
Yeah.
The other person who's getting really suspicious is Corey. So I think we got the top 3 people. Like, I think, I mean, the only other person is Jenny, but I don't think Jenny's really focused on that Vacation Alliance. But,
No.
I think that's one of my favorite things is when we start taking big swings at groups that think they're safe because they have the numbers. And with this Vacation Alliance who thinks nobody really knows, like they're downplaying it so well, I'm curious to see who's going to take that first swing. And I think originally I thought Johnny, but Rachel definitely, as we watched this episode especially, I was like, okay, Rachel, come through. Like, I'm ready for her to like tear some shit up.
Yeah.
the only thing is there's not a challenger on the girls' end who's up that's in that Vacation line. So you'd be looking at Tori and Casey. But on the guy's side, Josh is right there. So if Corey is thinking, I don't know who's got my back, I think for him, does Josh want to go against Johnny? Does he want to go against Brad? Or does Corey wants to go against those guys? Or does he want to go against Josh? Also break up that alliance that he's already feeling iffy about. I do think he gave Nehemiah bad advice because he put the battery in Nehemiah's back like, yeah, you got to go for it. But he's not the biggest thinker, but that's also why I think he's like an X factor that could say, fuck it, I got to go after them.
But if you watch the challenge, why would you take that advice from Corey?
I don't know. I have no idea.
It's never worked for him. Like, he's struggled with that aspect of this game very bad, which is okay because, once again, Corey has that same thing CT has, that lovable personality that they might not like him nowhere near as much as CT, but he does stupid things that you're just like, that's just Corey, you know? Whereas, like, when it's Nehemiah, it's like, are you stupid? Like they don't have, I don't know what it is. Corey and CT can do certain things that a Nehemiah can't. That, like, we're just like, what is wrong with you? Why would you do that? But I don't know. I wouldn't take Corey's advice on that kind of stuff. If he came and sat and talked to me, I'd be like, okay, thanks, and just find somebody else to talk to.
Yeah, like
Do the opposite of what he says. Just the complete opposite.
Pretty much. Like he's so not great at the challenge. He's actually does a lot better on Teen Mom. So
But I can't win a challenge.
Yeah, it's
That's
true.
crazy.
I mean, he's the highlight of Teen Mom. So don't take advice from him on the challenge.
I think they
Damn.
bring him back because he's such a likable personality. You know, it's like one of those that it's kind of like a Leroy too, right? Like,
Right.
you want them to win, and you don't really know why. You don't know why you're like, oh, just let this guy win something. I don't know. He just has a very likable personality, so I don't know. That's why I think he keeps coming back. I don't know. Make your money, Corey. Go ahead.
Salute to Corey. I think he just had knee surgery too, so man, recover up quick because we like to see you back, even though you give terrible advice. But hopefully you took your doctor's advice and you healed up quick.
All right, let's jump in to the challenge because this was an interesting one. I like that it had a little bit of a kind of physical but puzzle aspect of it, because they had those big, I don't know what they're called, like pieces, I don't know, to carry around, and then they have to do some balancing. So endurance, puzzle, and honestly, it is a ton of team building, as you know, as we saw. I mean, you can't all be screaming. You know, Tina said it, you know, like, just everybody shut up and listen to me. But then we saw CT kind of say, like, well, you told us to go. We went your way and it didn't work. But nonetheless, what did you guys think of the actual challenge itself?
His strategy was terrible also. He's like, let's put up this Empire State Building and try to, like, move it. Like, no, bro. I was calling them wishbones. Like, how you, like... You
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Wishbone trees.
I don't know if I should start off with such a heavy statement, but F Laurel. I mean, like, girl, I just can't.
Oh,
I just don't like her. I don't like her. The little bit of like I might have had and respect for her, I was like, girl, you're that weak, you're that insecure that you're gonna throw a challenge, and then later in the episode, I can't respect you because well, who could respect you? You throw challenges literally because you said, oh, well, she's a strong competitor, so I'm going to throw it. What? I thought you were the Miss Big and Bad and nobody's better than you. So what are you worried about? I don't know. That just pissed me off. I was like, I can't stand her now.
Yeah, the dysfunction on Era 2 right now, which is really comes back to her, it's crazy, but it is a crazy heel turn. She was the one who's like, I ain't scared of nobody. I'll take anybody on, guy or girl. And now for her to be so hyper focused on, I gotta get Cara out here at Elimination 1 because she doesn't have my back. I gotta get Emily out because she's a strong girl. I don't want her in the final. And it's just like, since who are you and what have you done with the real Laurel? You replaced this badass with someone who played scared, and she played scared in All Stars 4 too with not going after the gold star like everybody else. So
Yep. I think I think she saw a lot of strong women come up after she left, and she isn't as confident in herself as she thinks she is. So I think she sees people like Tori, Cara Maria, Emily, and they're like strong, like legit females that she didn't have to go against. So I think she's just terrified of losing that status that she has, you know, as one of the best females in the challenge, if not the best. I think a lot of people think that. So I think she's just scared. I think she's playing a scared game. She's scared. She's terrified. She knows that she's kind of overrated. I mean, she hasn't really done much in the last few seasons she's been on. So I think her time...
She just won. Be careful. That's my number one pick. She just came off a win.
She's... All right, fine. Before that, she hasn't really done much. So I think... I still think Laurel's overrated. I had so much hope in her when she first showed up. I was like, oh, she could win so many championships. Like, she's going to be the best girl. But then she kind of, like, fizzled out, disappeared. Worried about hooking up and all that. So I don't know. I think she just lost her edge. Something happened with her mentally. I don't know what, but something happened to where she's just become this, or maybe she was always like that, this arrogant, kind of overconfident, but also scared person at the same time. Like, she likes to pick on weaker people, I think. And yeah, I mean, just not a fan of her recently at all.
I said it even with the Darrell thing. She'll never say anything to him again, because as soon as you can come back at her and check her, she stops. But other people, if you start crying and you're scared of her and you cowered, she keeps going. To me, that's like one of the weakest type of women. Like, you have to look for weak people to feel strong and talk down to. Like, I don't like that. I don't like that at all, and it makes me view you as even weaker, and it makes me, like, if I was there, want to be meaner to her. I don't care if that would get me sent home or not. My life challenge would be in that game to make her cry every single day, just because I don't like that personality.
Yeah.
Laura sucks.
She really does. I think I think at first it was good TV. It was like, oh, there's this interaction with Cara and this, and she's unpredictable, and what's going to happen? Now it's like, it's overboard. It's like, it's not even enjoyable to watch. I'm like, it's a trigger for me, first of all. And it's just, it sucks. It's like, it's not good TV. It's not good TV at this point. Just to see her going in. And regardless if Cara Maria merited that or not, I just don't want to watch it. I want to watch a challenge. I want to watch, like, you want to beat Cara's ass? Then take her to elimination. Beat her somewhere. Like, don't, like, stop. It's just, it's too much.
But the truth is, we know she doesn't want to take her to elimination because she is scared of Cara Marie. She's scared of Emily. She's scared of these girls. Rightfully so. They're great competitors. But there's nothing wrong with saying, like, you're a strong competitor and I am nervous to have to go against you. But she would never say that to their face. She says, you know, little things in her interview like, well, she is strong. So say it. Just say, like, I'm nervous, you're strong. But she can't. She's so insecure, she can't even give it to those girls. So it just comes off terrible. I don't know. There's respect to it if a girl's like, look, you're strong and I wouldn't want to face you, kind of like what they do Josh with CT. I mean, he would say it to his face, you're strong, I don't want to face you. I can respect that. At least you're owning it. You're not acting like tough shit and then like cowarding but trying to act like you're not a coward. I don't know. There's just
and there's a lot of talk about like the producers didn't show us everything, and there's this whole other story that happened, and a lot of challengers are going on TikTok and telling their story. The bottom line is that's not what was shown to me, so I can't really run with that. Kind of like when you go to court, if something is not admissible in court as a juror, it's like it never happened. So that's how I'm viewing it. It's like, all right, I understand there's this other side we didn't see, but I can only judge based on what was shown to me, and what I saw was not okay. Period.
Well, you're triggering me right now because I'm not in class this Friday.
Oh my God.
I think, you know what, I think the challenge wasn't as exciting, so should we just jump in? Should we recap what happened for the big fight? Does somebody want to kind of recap what happened and we just jump more into that, since unless there's anything left of the challenge part.
Right before we jump, I do have something lamentable. I drafted Laurel first pick, and I drafted Jordan second pick, and just like to pick on the cuticle more, he didn't have a great challenge either. And the cocky, I'm the boss here, Jordan came out, whereas he had been such a great teammate the last couple of seasons and felt like, yeah, it came out a little bit, but for the most part, he's able to control it. And I don't know if it's because he's on a team with Tori and like, you know, their relationship, he thinks like it takes him to a different place. But it's tough to, it's hard to root for both of these guys on my team when they're like acting like that. And I'm like,
yeah,
I guess I'm just gonna have to pull it for, I don't know, John A to win it all. I don't know, like.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
So, and we'll jump into the Cara and Laurel thing in a second, because that's a different type of ugly. But just from a game standpoint, like, go for the win. Don't play not to lose. Play to win. Every single time. Don't and this little secret alliance that looks like Laurel and Jordan have. It's just like. It's just messy, and I don't love it. So hopefully, that goes away soon. But not necessarily going home, but like it just goes away.
Do I remember correctly, Naya, when Jordan's like screaming or whatever, and she's just standing there and she's like rolling her eyes? It like reminded me of the perfect like brother sister relationship. She's like, shut up, but knows that'll set him off more, so she's just staying quiet. I was like, that was funny to watch them, because I know they had such a crazy relationship too. Yeah. But
brothers and sisters, but on Game of Thrones, where
yes, very weird.
So just to cap that, Era 4 wins. They Kylan and Olivia, great job. Era 1 in shambles. And then the drama.
Yeah. Are we recapping the Laurel fight with Cara and that
Yep.
that
Yeah,
thing?
I guess from what we saw,
From-
what was
yeah.
aired.
Yeah, so from what I saw, Laurel was having a discussion with Michelle. They were having their own little thing, and then Cara Maria just comes in, machismosa, just trying to get the tea, and then inserts herself in this situation that really had nothing to do with her because she saw herself in Michelle and wanted to. She has this like savior complex. Let me just save her because I can relate to this person that Laurel is to us. I don't think it was Cara's business to do that. So yeah, that's what I saw. Did I miss anything?
I'm gonna interject here, and I'm gonna say that this is the challenge, and everybody's business becomes everybody's business. But I did hear from Cara Maria her side. I know we're sticking to what we saw, but at the same time, we do if we and it's kind of unfair because I didn't hear Laurel's side yet, but from what she said was, I mean, and of course things are going to be edited out, right? So we don't know 100% of anything unless we see the raw footage. But she was saying that Laurel stopped Michelle in on the way to the bathroom and was kind of like, I don't want to be your friend, you know, and begin to kind of like bully her in a way. And that's kind of where she like stepped in and said, well, because Laurel was saying, oh, I don't want to be your friend. I don't ever want to be your friend. And that's where she kind of went in and said, you know, I'll be your friend so Michelle wouldn't feel some type of way. Now, is that right? I don't know. And should she, but did Cara kind of bring it on herself? Yeah, because you're poking a bear, and that's Laurel, and you know you never know what she's gonna do because she's kind of crazy. So I mean, I think that whole series of events got way out of hand, and especially from what I heard, it got really dark in some places. But I mean, it's a show, right? So the producers don't want you to see anything too dark, or there's certain things they also can't say or show for censor reasons. But I think that whole fight was unnecessary. But they have something much deeper going on between the two of them, and you know, Johnny was saying like, you know, they're kin to sisters. They're fighting like an older, younger sister kind of thing. But I think that part is long gone from now. I think maybe a few seasons ago that's what it was, but I think now it turned into something a lot more like dark, and it's kind of sad and to see, you know, because you see them when they first started, and you know, it's like it did look like a younger, older sister. You know, I want to. Cara Maria looking up to Laurel, wanting to be a strong competitor. Laurel saying, "You're not good enough to run with me." Cara Maria putting in the work, you know, and then she's still not getting acknowledged. So I think they just have so much history that's negative that it's hard for them to overcome that.
And that's all good and gravy. I think as a viewer, this is where I think social media sort of like, I wish didn't exist when it comes to the show, because I want to watch a show. I want to just make my own interpretation, and I don't want to watch 10,000 TikToks about this whole situation and become that emotionally invested in two people that like I'll never meet, I'll never hang, I don't know, that don't pay my bills. Like,
Whoa.
I,
We may have them as guests. Hold on. I'm reaching out to all
maybe,
these people.
but I feel like it takes away from how I enjoy the show, which is like, leave it up to my interpretation of what happened. And if you choose to continue to be on this reality show and give them their right to edit your entire life, then do that. And let the viewers decide, you know, because then it just becomes like a second show. Now we just have to, we watch the show, then we have to watch a whole nother show to figure out what actually happened. It's like, I just want to watch a challenge.
And like, just to go back to what actually was on the show, even if Cara Maria had good intentions with getting involved, when she kind of explained why she got involved, it kind of was just like, oh, it had nothing to do with Michelle. It had to do with you see yourself in that situation, or you've experienced something like that. It still comes back down to you. So it's like, I think the annoying thing is like Cara. It's not always the Cara Maria show. It's not everything's not always about you, and part of what you have to learn is you're not that person anymore. You're not the one getting picked on all the time. So just like leave it alone. But you still need to insert yourself for whatever reason. And even if you want to like say what she said in her response to what happened in the edit, and she saw Michelle crying while she was working out, and she talked to Rachel who said her piece that she was fed up with it. It's not what you said on the show. On the show, in your testimonial, you said Laurel picking on Michelle reminded you when she used to pick on you.
Exactly.
And you had to say something.
Right.
You know, just it's like you had to insert yourself. So then what comes back at you? I'm not saying you deserve it, but you went looking for something. You didn't like what came out on the other end. Just saying.
I mean, I agree, but let me pose this question that's still kind of on topic. It seems like this season has a lot more controversial edits from the producers. Now, do we think there's any biases? Do we think there's something going on with producing where they're cutting out certain things or not giving us the full story, or are they trying to paint certain narratives for us as a viewer to watch and make our conclusions based on that?
So I don't think the producers are doing anything different than they've done 39 seasons ago. I think what's gotten very popular is social media, is TikTok, is people just wanting to tell their story. So I think that's the difference. It's yeah, so like it's a little more controversial because of social media. And
I do think they have something invested where they're not gonna make it a easy black and white. Here's the hero, here's the bad guy story. So they may leave some things out that make Laurel look worse in that argument than she was. And like Cara said, she touched on very personal things in her past that she shouldn't have. And they left that out. Well, yeah, I don't think they want to write off Laurel so quickly. I think they want people invested and to see where it goes. But if they left the full thing in there and people just write Laurel off from the beginning, I mean, some of us already are just like, I'm done. Imagine they aired the full thing.
Yeah.
I think part of it is like taking care of her a little bit, but also like let's make this enjoyable, not take it to a certain place.
And my thing is like, if this is not obviously the first like real bad argument that Cara and Laurel have had, if I know that someone can go to a certain level, I'm not going to poke the bear. I'm just going to let it be. So I want to ask Cara that question. Like, I know that you wanted to save Michelle because you saw yourself in her, but like, did you really have to do that? Like, I can empathize to a certain point, and then I'm like, you could have just left it alone. Not that she deserved it, but you know how dirty Laurel can get, and it's like, just leave it alone.
So you think it's like, you can go.
Oh, I was gonna say, I definitely feel whatever Laurel said had to be nasty, because when you start seeing towards the end when they're breaking it up, you see Corey's face and stuff, and they're almost like distraught. They're exhausted. So whatever they were hearing was so vile that even them, as like the men who really don't get involved, because I don't think Corey gets involved in that kind of drama, they were there to try to like de-escalate it. Like you could almost see it in his face, like, that's enough. Like, that, you guys, whatever was being said went way too far. Like, they're uncomfortable. It's not even enjoyable.
Yeah. And apparently it went on for, and I saw this on Reddit, that it was like a 2.5 hour battle between the three of them. Wow. So, I mean, that's a long ass time to be fighting Laurel.
For real.
Like,
I would have been outside drunk in the pool. Like 10 minutes
For
in, I'd be
real.
like, y'all beat each other up or shut up. Like throw hands or shut up past 10 minutes. Like
For me, I want to tell Cara Maria there's power in silence. Like, if you ignore Laurel, like, that will drive her so crazy. Like, she will just lose her shit. Like, just ignore her. Like, ignoring her, not even giving her any, like, attention.
so.
What do you mean,
Laurel
no?
feeds off that. I think when you're like when you cower down to her, and that's what she would view it as Cara cowering to her. Laurel's the kind of girl you have to put in her place, just like we see. I mean, Darrell told her, "Shut your mouth, watch your mouth." She shut her mouth, and we haven't seen anything since. And I can promise you, we won't see anything the rest of the season between them. She learned her lesson. Shut your
I
mouth.
don't know about that. I don't know.
She knows with Cara cries when she's really upset, and she feeds off that. So she knows if Cara says one little thing, she'll just keep, and that's why I'm sure it went 2.5 hours. She kept going because she's getting fed by the crying and the stuff. But if Cara was just as nasty as her, and I'm sure anyone that, I feel like she just is a girl that needs to be checked. I don't think she's a girl that responds to like, oh, silence, whatever. She'll take that as like, oh, see, you are weak, so shut your fucking mouth, bitch, or whatever she loves to say. Stupid bitch that she always says. I'm like, why does she say it that way? I don't know. Like, Laurel.
Like, to
Sorry,
the point
Laurel,
of
I
just
just
like,
can't.
of sitting there, like, silent and not, like, it was so funny early in the episode where she's, like, giving people stuff and she puts something in Michelle's lap. And she's like, oh, sorry, that was for Avery, not for you. And Michelle's like, I feel like that's the shit she does to people.
Yeah, I can see that,
like,
100%.
Yeah, remember, I don't like you? Yeah. Just so you forgot.
But we saw it even with Michelle. Michelle doesn't say much to her and was trying to do it in a very kind way. And look how nasty she gets. Like, that's why I feel like if Laurel doesn't like you for whatever the reason, and I don't really know half the reasons other than like when she's intimidated, but like the Michelle thing, I don't really get it all the way why she hates her. Whatever, I don't really care why she hates her, but who doesn't she hate at this point? But like when Michelle has said, even at the last whatever that reunion was that last season, she's like, we're gonna be friends, like trying to play nice with her, and Laurel's like, no. Like, why? She's trying to be nice. She's trying to be kind to you. Like,
Yeah, but she doesn't want to be her friend. She doesn't want to be her friend. There's nothing wrong with that.
But that's why this is continuing, is because she's gonna continue it because she sees that Michelle is weak to her, that she's scared of her, or whatever she views it as. Not saying that's what they are. And I really think Cara's like trying to, stand up for herself. I get it. She wanted to be like, I'm protecting her, whatever, a redemption of herself. We get it. We've all been there. It triggered her, so she wanted to say something. Then Cara, you can't cry, girl. You gotta.
Yeah, you
buck
can't
your
cry.
Chest. You gotta buck that chest, girl, and go in the bathroom and cry when nobody's around. But in front of Laurel, you gotta be tough, because that's when she'll learn her lesson. Like, okay, you're not weak and you're not scared of her. But Cara is very emotional.
It's tough because Michelle has a similar thing to Cara, where it's just like that, like trying to be liked. And the thing about Michelle that irks me is just like, what you did to people in the game. You threw people in, you like stabbed them in the back, but then you cried and we're like, I'm so sorry. And we saw it the first episode, like Michelle cries to show that she feels bad. Like, own your decisions. So I think this whole thing is like, oh, we're gonna be friends, and I think that makes it worse for Laura. It's just like, yo, you threw me in. Own the decision, and then maybe I'll respect it and we can work from there. But she doesn't, and so, gaining Laurel's respect is like the last priority anybody should have.
For real, yes.
Facts.
You shouldn't strive for it, but also don't do the stuff that it makes you look weak in her eyes. Anyway.
Yeah, like don't explain yourself. Like Michelle was sitting there explaining herself, and it's like, that's not going to work with Laurel. Like, you're just feeding a lion at this. Like, don't do that. Just
I feel like any of that, like making her think like, I don't know, that you want to be liked by her in any type of way, gives her that like
Yes.
I mean, it gives her this fuel of like
she's gassed. She gets gassed.
Yeah, and it's like it's like she switches. Like you can see it, like the change in her eyes and everything, and that weird tone of voice she starts getting is like she's like high off of it or something. She gets a little creepy. I don't know. Personally, she's just somebody that I don't know. I don't think I could stand being in the house. I don't know how they all stood in that room if it was 2.5 hours. I would have been, after 10 minutes, I'd be like, shut the fuck up. And I would have went outside because I can't. Like, shut up. It's too much now. Like, it's too much. And that, it's something I made a comment to Victor. And he's like, really? And I don't know. And I'm curious what you guys think. I just have this... If this is what the challenge is really going to bank on, is this constant fight between the two of them, I'm going to be highly disappointed. And I'm going to throw it into the category of being like one of the top 3 worst challenges ever. Because we're tired of it. I get it. I get it gets the views. But I just don't care. I don't respect Laurel. I don't really care that Cara cries. I don't care anymore. We've done it 20 times. I'm sick of it. I'm over it. Let's find something else to watch.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that sentiment. I want a little bit more from season 40. I think the challenges, the eliminations could be better. Like, I want them dangling off trees and moving cars and like doing crazy things, I don't know. I think it's a little meh.
I want to see
It's a little
Cara and
bland.
Laurel going into challenges against each other.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see, instead of them fighting for 2.5 hours, put them in multiple challenges. Start pitting them in harder challenges. Let the best person win. And maybe it still is Laurel. We saw it the first episode. She won. But, let's keep going. Let's see where the cards fall. And maybe it will get there, but I was like, if we're going to do this and this is going to continue on, because it almost feels like it's going to continue on. The way they kind of ended it, nothing was really settled. I don't, what was the season with Nicole or whatever when she was dating Nicole, and that just kept going.
Yeah.
Every episode was
Yeah,
about
that was
that.
annoying.
I wanted to rip my hair out. I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I don't care. I
I think the sister relationship thing that they're banking on, and they knew what they were doing. Was like, oh, we're gonna do eras. Okay, Cara and Laurel, same era.
Yeah.
The fighting where it gets really dark, that's not where the fun is. I think the interesting stuff comes where now the implications are, all right, Laurel, you may be the strongest person on our team, and we have Johnny on our team, and it still might be you, but you're causing way too much shit. We're gonna put the target on your back. Nehemiah didn't hesitate. It's like, hey, we're trying to be united. Laurel, you take it. And who knows if she ends up in the bottom next week, but if she does and she gets the power to put the targets on the back, she's gonna throw it on Cara. She can't, but she's gonna maybe throw it back on Nehemiah. The kind of aftershock of that earthquake, I think, does make the challenge interesting. It's like, who's beefing now? So the actual fighting, not so much. We've seen it over and over again, but because of the way the challenge is structured with the targets, I think it'll be fun. And especially, I don't think she has any friends on her own team other than Johnny and her are kind of cool. I think she's cool with Jordan and she's making other friends, but we'll see what comes of that.
Does that mean that since her and Johnny are the only two that are kind of a pair on that team that are friends, does the rest of the team have free range to throw the competition? 'Cause I sure shit would. I would be like, you know what you did last week, and you threw that competition. Well, karma sucks, doesn't it? So here we go. We all agreed. You guys are going in. So before we even get down there, I want you and Johnny to understand, because Johnny's king of throwing challenges to get people to go in when he wants
That
them.
is true.
You guys, you might as well rest up because you're going in. We aren't doing it. Well, I'll tell TJ myself.
Yeah, but that's if we're gonna call it out that it was a stupid move by Laurel, we got to call out that it'll be a stupid move by them, because why would you want to weaken your team? The format, at least for the next handful of challenges, have a strong team, work together well, win those challenges so you don't even see the elimination. You gotta swallow that pride. You gotta swallow that pride. That
2.5 arguments 2.5 hour argument.
But is it even pride though? It's self-preservation. If you know Laurel's gonna try and get you in there, why don't you try and get her out there? You know, she's gonna try. Laurel is not a strategic player. She's very emotional, so she's gonna try and get Cara Maria out. So wouldn't you want to get her out before she gets you out? I mean, Cara Maria's been saying like, "Oh, let's work as a team. Let's work as a team." Laurel's the one that's throwing her in. So at what point are you gonna, fight back?
Well, you can do that every other challenge. Where the challenge where she has the target, she'll work hard to win it. And,
That's true.
And then, and then the thing is, if she wins the challenge, if the target's on her back and Era 2 manages to win it, then she doesn't have the power to put targets on anybody's back, and she's not going to throw a challenge and send herself down there. So you gotta be smart and mitigate her effect on the team, and just power through it. For this week, it's good that they got the target on her back, and then going forward, because it takes two people to tango. So Cara also has to. It takes two people to tango. Cara also has to just stay away from her and self-preserve for the challenge.
But it only took one to send her into elimination.
Listen, goddammit, I want those points. Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby. I want Laurel there.
Laurel needs to go. She's annoying. Actually, I would legit want to see her. I was banking on this era to see great eliminations. I wanted to see Laura versus Cara Maria, or Laura versus Tori, or Emily versus Tori, or Cara. I want to see all these great matchups between the women, because we usually don't see seasons like that, where we could really see who's the best out of all of them. They're usually played in separate seasons, or they don't make it all the way. I want to see them go at it. I want to see if Laurel is still the best. That's what I want to see.
You're not giving no credit to Tina, who fucking beasted this
Seriously, she beasted.
1 week, one lucky challenge elimination. Nah,
lucky challenge.
Nah.
Wow.
She's got the scars on her freaking hands to prove it ain't luck.
She went beast mode though. I gotta give her that. She went beast mode.
Everybody else, even Big CT tried that shit, and he's just bending those nails.
It was unique only to Tina. Only to Tina. She had that fire in her. You couldn't see the difference. Hers was out of self-preservation, and frustration. Because she's been going home early the last few challenges. So she wanted it and she got it. So
that fire.
I lost some weight. I'm
seriously.
I'm looking good for this.
She looks great. She is totally aging backwards. She looks so good.
I mean, getting in shape will do that. She's doing good.
Yeah, and also kind of calming down a little bit is probably did wonders for her face. But she also, that fire wasn't in her the last couple of challenges. We know
no, it wasn't.
Causing some shit. And in this episode, the old Tina came back. She turned into the old me, got at CT, didn't care, and then in that challenge, she didn't care it was Emily. When they were talking about the elimination, she's like, oh, they're both equal. Wait, hold on. Emily and Tori? Yeah, I'll go against either one. Doesn't matter to me.
I like that. I did like that from her.
Yeah. And you have Laurel over here who's scared of Emily. That's what I'm like, how is Laurel gonna go home and watch this back and not feel like an idiot? I don't know. You're this big competitor, Laurel. Please. I thought because we didn't have Nicole or anybody you were trying to screw on this episode that maybe we would get our challenger back. Just like when Polly went, I was like, good, Cara can focus on being a challenger. They can be challengers. Why can't they pull a Johnny and Wes and be secret friends and be putting on fake shows in front of people, but us as the viewers get to be in on this little secret of them working together? Please, can we get that? That would make for an amazing season. I don't know, something where they're killing it. I want to see competition. I miss competition. I know we like the drama, of course, but we love the competition of it, and this just gets so in the way. Starts taking up so much of it.
I'm not saying Laurel and Cara need to have this kumbaya moment, but
Ain't no kumbaya shit.
Right.
We'll see what happens next
We'll see.
episode. So let's go into when they're deliberating. What are our thoughts on the deliberation?
Cringe.
Felt bad for Emily, but I was happy she said something.
Emily was
Yeah.
blindsided. She was
She's
like,
like, was I in on this? Was I there? I was like, damn.
She's like,
You weren't, girl. You weren't.
I loved her response when, was I there? Like, how girly
Nehemiah
you
was
were,
like,
but-
what had happened was,
See, what had happened at first was
What happened was
like, but he was in the vacation and I wasn't there. So, like,
I like that Tina and CT went into it saying, let them squirm. Like, let them figure it out. We have friends, throughout the house. Don't say anything when we're down there. And they didn't. All they did was hype up the drama, which I love. They were kind of like, sitting on the sidelines like, whatever. Like, it is what it is,
So, yeah, deliberation, it was kind of like, meh.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you
that was
mean
the
that?
big thing.
No, like,
Okay.
it happened, and then,
because you knew who was gonna go in.
yeah.
Kinda, yeah. Kinda just, I mean, the big thing was to see what Nehemiah. I think that's what we were all waiting to see how that was gonna play out. Like, what was Nehemiah gonna say? Was it gonna come out? And of course, it was gonna come out. And then I loved that Emily said, like, was I there?
I like how he lied to Corey, too, how he was telling Corey, like, yeah, they came and made a deal with me. And I was just like, come on. Things get around. I was like, come on, Nehemiah. Come on. I don't think Corey
Yeah.
believed that, but it seemed like he did until it came out, so.
And like Nehemiah for last minute going to Kylan and Olivia and trying to make the same deal that he was trying to make with Devin and Tori, or Devin earlier in the episode. It's just like, bro, relax, calm down. Like, fine, you shot your shot the first time, didn't really work out. You should be the last person saying anything in that deliberation. But like,
I agree.
the loudest person in that room is usually the one that's panicking. So.
Well, he learned it from Wes, right?
Chill.
That was two disciples of West going at it, and I think
We see who the top student was.
see who the top student was. So which one?
Well-
Which one was Naruto, and which one was?
Definitely Nehemiah was Naruto, because he was acting a fool. And Devin was Sasuke, because he was more calm and collected. And calculated.
All right, we lost half of our female viewership. Please come
And we gained about 20 nerds.
No, they left. He's like, that guy's a fraud. He didn't know who Sasuke was. He's just like trying to.
All right. So
For me, I'm not a fraud. Like, I'll show you all my whole collection I got back here.
we're good. We don't
I think Tina's
know.
thing just, like, it just threw everybody for a loop. They're like, what the hell is going on? And they try to imitate it, but they couldn't duplicate it.
So one interesting thing was that Theo was making jokes on Twitter, but Tina, she ain't wanted it to be the butt of the joke ever. She shed a little bit of light on the challenge, which is like they flipped a coin to see which board they would get. So it was random. So it wasn't like her board
Oh, okay.
that she was doing like was specifically for her, or like it was just like a chance,
Like, made
whichever one you
easier
get.
for her.
Yeah, exactly. I just think like she attacked it like crazy.
The right speed, the right angle, or something. And I love when CT was like, I tried to do the Tina technique, and like none of them could do it. It just wasn't working. And poor Emily, when they were like trying to, I think was it Johnny yelling to like,
Yeah.
hit it this,
Yeah.
and she's like, what do you mean? Because she's like trying to do it, and it was just making it worse for her. Like,
Yeah, I think Tina had the right the right strategy. Like she didn't push it too hard, didn't push it too light. Like she just knew exactly how to do it. So trying to replicate that, like CT, he's too strong to try to do what she
Yeah.
did, I think.
Well, they were all trying to
But
do it down.
it was, yeah, yeah. I mean,
You don't want to do it down. You
I
need
think,
to go out a little bit.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And props to Tina. She said she's been taking up woodworking at home, so that's probably why she had the little slight advantage too.
Well, her
Working that
nails
wood.
were like perfectly placed when she was nailing them back in. I was like,
Yeah.
I love to see it. Better than even the guys. They were like perfectly, in there. I was like, okay, Tina.
Yeah. Emily had said that if she hadn't listened to Johnny's suggestion, she probably would have won. I don't know. I don't think that's true.
I don't think so.
She was
either.
way behind.
Yeah, ripping out those nails that quick, she was so ahead. And she's comfortable with, the only thing I was like, well, before they started, obviously Emily's stronger, and I was like, I thought Tina would get tired with the nailing in, like, it would be more tiring. So even if they finished at the same time, I thought Emily would be able to like out endurance her, but I was like, she was so far ahead. And Tina was like perfectly just like she was not even tired. I don't know. She was done in seconds. Like it felt like. I mean, I would love to know how long it actually took her, but it felt like no time at all.
Yeah, that's a good point. I wish that they would put, how like back in the day they used to put the timer at the bottom to show us like how much. I wish they would do that with. I mean, that maybe not every challenge, but certainly this one I would like to know.
That would have been awesome to watch their scores and then theirs versus the boys. I'd like to see how Tina did it versus the boys doing it too, because like it does seem like she blew everybody out of the water. Now maybe it's just the perception of the editing. I don't know, but I'm curious. Either way, she did a great job.
Yeah.
Or that'll see team.
So like with the guys, they both tried the same thing. It didn't work. The Tina technique for them. But I think that when Nehemiah tried it, he quickly was like, "It doesn't work. Okay, let me just go, methodical and meticulous, like Ryan said, just go at the nails." And CT looked like he kept trying and switching back. It's like, okay, I'll do one at a time, but let me try again and see if I can do it. And he didn't stick to one technique. That like he started to fall behind, and then Nehemiah just like hit a groove with just getting the nails in one by one, quick, couple of taps and go. He kind of like had that tunnel vision. So I'm glad he got his redemption, that he was seeking from his last elimination. So, maybe Wes's teachings weren't wasted on him.
What do we think of these eliminations that are going on? Do we feel like they're up to par of what season 40 should be?
Nah, not at all.
I mean, it was fun to watch just because of Tina. Had Tina's not been so entertaining, that would have been an extremely boring challenge to watch. And it's not challenge, elimination, in my opinion. I guess it's, they're trying to make it, that any body size, we can't like CT backpack Johnny, but like, I don't know. I want them to be more endurance based, but maybe because we're playing with such a wide variety of ages, because we also have to remember some of the people that went home, Mark earlier, there's such a wide range of ages. And I mean, it is what it is. As you get older, it's harder to keep that endurance. Maybe they just anticipated they need to have an equalizer in some way and make them less tough. I mean, what happened to the challenges? The ones where, what was the one where they had to go and run the like mini finals and then come back to the house? I'm like, that was challenging. That was hard. I'm like, these are like these little, I don't know.
Yeah, like I understand it's like battle of the eras, but I really think the undertone here is like, how good is era one still 25, 30 years later? And so like for me, I would much rather have watched 25 OGs going at it. Like, bring me Anissa, bring me Veronica, bring me the one who tried to kill Veronica. Like, bring me all these people and make one season out of that. Like, I don't care about Horacio. I don't care about Nerys. I don't care about all of these young people, but give me the OGs. Like,
It's called All
I,
Stars.
I
All Stars. I was gonna say, yeah.
Like, it's called All
That's
Stars.
basically All Stars.
but doesn't All Stars have like newer people on it?
Yeah, I can, but it's mostly
No,
one.
it's people who've done like many multiple challenges, or we haven't seen in a while. But don't count everyone out on these eliminations. Like CT said, they've been dominating when they go in there. Derek just knocked out Horacio, the guy, the boogeyman that nobody wanted to see in the final. He just knocked him out. I think like it wasn't the one for CT. I don't think he had like the right mindset going in.
Yeah.
Like he said a couple times, like, if I have to fall on a sword, so be it. It's like, no, don't like think like that. Don't say that, CT. But I also think it's still early. Like one of the things, we hit the ground running. We got Hall Brawl, Pole Wrestle in episode 1. And aside from the one last 2 weeks ago with Horacio and Derek and Anissa and Jenny, that elimination was cool. It was tricky. It was endurance. It looked like it took them a long ass time to do it. The other ones have been okay. I think it's early. I think we're only on episode 5. We're probably gonna get like 15 more episodes. So I think they're trying to make the budget stretch, and they're like a bucket of nails and a wooden wall. Let's just paint it and like I think it's a little bit of that. It's just like, all right, we'll do this one early, and then when we really get into it, we'll bring out the fire and we'll bring out the harnesses and to do all that shit like later on where we're down to the last like 12 or 10 people. So I'm gonna give them a little bit of bail and like, all right, we're gonna start picking up the pace, and let's see, let's see. And we're never gonna get new stars on the show if we don't let like the new people try to flex a little bit. So one of the smaller takeaways, but I thought was interesting, is Olivia and Kylan had some like interesting airtime. Olivia's trying to reclaim like some of the respect that she got with her rookie season with Horacio, which I think is cool. And Kylan is like, he didn't play with Wes, but there's like a little bit of thinking the game, picking your partners smartly, seeking, like spotting who's like sneaky in the game. I was a little bit impressed, and we need to try to make the stars, because like I said, Mark ain't gonna be doing this forever. Anissa ain't gonna be doing this forever. And even if they come back, they're just not doing as well anymore.
Right.
We gotta give some of these young people. I think it's super unfortunate Nerys went home. Not trying to simp anymore, but she is.
No, I wanted her in there. I like Nerys. I think she's good for the game overall, like for the longevity of the game. What was that?
They gotta make some new stuff.
You don't like Nerys, Rocco, or what?
Listen.
She did great season 39. She did great.
She did. I think she's awesome. Like, she knocked out a bunch of people. That's fine.
That's all. I don't know if I consider her good just yet. I mean, she's good at puzzles. I wouldn't even say she's great yet, because who is she doing the puzzles against? People that are notoriously known for being horrendous at puzzles. So I'm like, is she great, or was she just a little bit better than them at puzzle? Like, I would like to see her like on this season last a little longer and see her in these challenges to actually see how her skills play out against actual challengers, like to see how good she actually is, to get her ranking of that. And I think like what you're saying is like it lets some of these newer people, there's not the same respect like on last season. It's just I don't know, I'm not gonna have the same respect for you because you're beating out some of these people who are not winners. But when you're in this season and you're playing against them and you're keeping up with them or you're outsmarting them, it puts some respect behind your name, you know? Not saying that she couldn't have that. She absolutely could have. We just didn't get a chance to fully see it develop, unfortunately, that we know of. Who knows what's going to happen later in the season?
Maybe bad example with her, but I think with Olivia, we do have some of that.
Yeah.
I think they're, I won't say a feud. I don't think it's like a feud, but like, I do think there's a little bit of a rivalry there, where she, like, especially if Olivia makes it far this season, Nerys just got second. Let's see season 41, and they're both back in there, and it's just like, oh, you made a final? Yeah, I made a final. Did you make a final? Yeah, all right. Let's see. They're not on the Cara and Tori level yet, but
Yeah.
we gotta build some new people up.
Yeah, this is where we'll get to see more of that, and that's why I'm like, I don't know if they'll bring anybody back. I don't think there's like a redemption house, but maybe there will be something.
I would love that.
Something to bring in, because I would like to see her going against me. You know, like seeing some of these newer faces, and maybe this isn't the season for it. I don't know, but I definitely think we need to let some of these newer characters play it out more and create a different lineup of where maybe it's a mix of vets and newbies on one team and they're facing off another vet and newbie, so we can see more of the newer faces develop more and we can get just as attached. But you definitely, this season is big personalities. I keep saying it every episode. I'm like, when Johnny has like no airtime, you know you have a whole cast of big personalities, because if they're not giving Johnny 90% of the episode, something's going on, because that's what we're used to is the Johnny show most of the time. And did he even speak this episode barely? Like more than 3 words? I don't know. Like
he just had like one sentence.
Oh no, he said he has squirrels at home. They're the only ones I guess who care about his nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the only, you know, which I'm like, and I'm not mad at that, but it is giving time for other people to develop and get a little bit. I just wish it wasn't spend half the episode on Laurel and Cara. You know, I'm like, there's other things going on in that house that I would love to get to see. I would even love to see more of the funny times by the pool with some of the newer characters and the vets and the CT with, you know, because he's so funny. I'm like, you know, show us a few minutes of that drama and let's shut up.
I want to see more of Theo cooking Olivia omelets sitting down. Like, what was that? Like, she was sitting down like with cracking eggs, and I'm just like, no, seriously.
Yeah. I say show them more, just many times kissing. You know, as many times as we can get every episode.
Yeah.
Do I get extra points if she ends up pregnant at the end?
Yeah,
No, because then she'll start talking about her kid, and then you start losing points.
Sure.
So speaking of points, should we get into points?
Well, hold on. I have to go over my styling for this
Oh,
episode.
damn. Still? All right, go, girl.
Yeah, we'll be quick. There's not too much to talk about this episode, so I'm going to make it quick, like under a minute. I was going to talk about Laurel, but I mean, I think everybody who watched when she was arguing with Cara, I mean, the biggest disgrace in that were her jeans not fitting correctly, and I don't know if it's the length or what's going on. I don't know, Laurel. Like, it looked like she had a little sister's pair of pants on. Like, I don't know. It was just interesting. But besides that, I didn't think that would take up, you know, a whole segment.
Well, I think they were supposed to be high-waisted, but she's too tall, so it kind of went. It went mid-section, but it's like it's supposed to be high-waisted.
Yeah, I think it's just her length, which I mean, she's a tall girl. They were weird. I don't know. I don't know. But
they were
tall,
not flattering.
So, yeah, they were not. But that isn't it, even though we talked about it. But what I wanted to touch on, I just thought it was interesting at the elimination, and that's why I wanted to do it here. I was enjoying the little flares of energy we were getting. I like Jordan in his little cowboy hat. He looked like he was from, what's that show, Yellowstone?
Yellowstone or something, yeah.
Yellowstone. It looked like he was right out of Yellowstone. Him and Naya standing there, they looked like they could be a little couple from Yellowstone. And then right next to him, we had Corey and his little beanie just vibing out. I liked it. I liked looking, you know, usually they're kind of just in their little rompers or something simple because it's so late at night. I like that Jordan went all out with his open shirt to show off his new tattoos and his cowboy hat.
Yeah.
And Corey in his little beanie and sweater, even though it's probably like 100 degrees because they all look sweaty and miserable. But he's going to vibe. So I just wanted to point out, you know, I appreciate Jordan and, you know, Corey. I see you guys trying. I see you guys trying to flex your style, and I appreciate it. Even in 100-degree weather at probably 2 in the morning. It's
Trying to get us not to notice the swamp ass of those gray sweatpants.
I can't. That is another option of talking about. I don't know who, especially for the girls, because it's an insecurity as it is. If you ever worked out, your biggest insecurity is buying leggings that show your swamp ass in any type of way. You know, like I work out at the gym a few days a week, and every time I'm wearing light colored pants, I'm always like one of the girls I work out with. I'm like, anything? Like, it's, you know, like when they're light colored, you get swamp ass, and that's embarrassing. I'm like, why would they put all these girls in these light gray pants, and then in the elimination, all we see is their swamp ass marks? Like, that's so messed up. Like, who did that this year? Because that's a new color. They never put them in that kind of gray pants, if I remember. Like, it's always been dark colors for that reason. But no, this year they're like swamp ass for all.
They give no fucks. Like, whatever.
Bigger budget, shittier pants. Here you go.
Yeah, cut costs somewhere.
I appreciate the elimination lineup being like kind of like the new NBA tunnel where like LeBron James or Russell Westbrook are walking in with their outfits and they want to like style for the cameras. You know, Corey, Jordan doing their thing, saying we're gonna stand up here, look fly, even if we gotta look like this for 8 hours while they film this elimination.
I literally, when I saw Corey's outfit, I was like, he's gotta be dying in that, man. His beanie and everything, like he's insulated for the night. Like,
that beanie's done. It's done. That thing's sweated through. It's like it's done. One time use. I hope he bought a Paulie 4-pack for that because.
Oh my
I
God.
hope so. Because you see, like Michelle and Cara, they're in these like little thin rompers with no bra or nothing, and they're still sweating. So it's like these like airy, no backing rompers, so that they can be as cool as they can. I'm like, I don't know how he's doing it, but good for you, Corey. Like you get those sponsorships. I don't know, maybe as a brand deal with whatever clothing. I was trying to see if I could see a label on anything. I didn't, but I'm gonna go back and watch it again. I hope you're getting some kind of brand deal or some kind of money off that clothes for sweating like that. If not, somebody sponsor that man with some good clothing. He'll rep it. He doesn't care what temperature. He's gonna rep it.
They're usually pretty good. They're pretty good with labels. Like they don't mess around with that. But I saw one sneak through. It goes Rachel, her sportswear. I think it's that company ALO. I don't know how you say it. It's Aloe.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So that one snuck through. I was like, oh, I wonder if she's getting she's getting paid.
I think this year their clothing is designed. Is it the it's the
TYR.
Yeah, it's what I used to, and maybe that's why it's swamp ass. The material is probably wickering, kind of, because that's like when I was a swimmer, my whole swimming career, all of our track suits were made by that company. So I'm like, maybe that's why the swamp ass. It's like
that ain't the Under Armour.
Yeah, like
they used to have that sweet Under Armour deal, and I remember funny stories that they told about CT. They would trade their Under Armour gear from the challenge, and CT would go in and take it all home because it's all good stuff. But I don't know if anybody's trying to bargain for these outfits, especially with the sweat situation.
I know, maybe that's what it is. They were like, "Nuh-uh, they're not going to resell this shit. We're going to make sure." I don't know. I can't figure out. Or maybe it's the temperature.
I think he would. I think he'd sell like official challenge gear, Under Armour.
Yeah, good for him. As I
swamp ass and all. I'm sure people would buy that. I'm sure a lot of people would pay money for that still.
For CT swamp ass, I might. I don't know. A piece of CT in my heart.
I'll take Nerys. Sorry, Eric, you took too long.
That's fine. He has John A. He'll live.
I was gonna say Josh, but.
All right. So let's get to new targets, and then we'll get to some points. So we have new targets now. correct? Right? So we
Yeah.
have.
So on Era 1, we have Brad and Rachel. Brad stepped up, and Rachel was the only option for the girls, so she took that. On Era 2, which is the spiciest, Nehemiah was just like, Laurel, you're causing too much shit. So Aviv gets to live another day. And then he gave it to, he didn't give it to Bananas. Tina did, because she's close with Ryan and Derek. Which, all right, Ryan hasn't gotten the target yet, but it is what it is. And then on Era 3, you have Corey, who stepped up. And then we had Janae, who's just like, sorry, I'm not going to volunteer.
No.
And she's like, Nehemiah won't choose me. And then he's like, yeah, no, Janae's going to be you. So, and then on the last one, Josh finally found his nuts and volunteered. And then Nehemiah gives the favor right back to Jenny, which Casey was right there, Nehemiah. She hasn't gotten yet, but all right, you want to get your revenge. It is what it is. But back to Janae. I understand where she's like, why would you ever volunteer for elimination? But your whole team has agreed, like, we're all gonna volunteer each week. You're just putting it, no pun intended, a target on your back for your team to be like, we don't trust you.
Well, and when you speak up and say, I don't think I should volunteer,
Yeah.
I was like, well, now I would pick you too, because I'm like, oh, your whole team
Right.
picked anyways.
Right.
Just shut up. Just pull a Josh and just stand there like you're confused. Like, oh, I hope you don't pick me. Like, quiet like everybody else.
So points?
I would. Yeah. All right, let's get to points. Do you want to give us the point breakdown?
Points. All right, guys. Episode 5. We have a lot of point changes here. We have a big winner so far out of us all. So far, we have Raquel gaining 20 points in one episode.
Yes.
That's pretty impressive. I lost 4, unfortunately. Nora gained 15.
Yes, the comeback.
And then Eric gained 10. So total score right now, Raquel is killing it right now at 46 points.
Yes.
Eric's second place with 19 points. I'm right behind you, Eric. I got 18. And Nora's still in the negatives with -7.
Okay,
That
it's
negative
just
22.
yeah,
Coming
yeah,
back.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good comeback, yes.
yep.
I'm trying to think what the targets are. They any of my people?
Brad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brad.
Who has Rachel?
Not me.
I think I have,
You do. Eric has Rachel.
Oh yeah.
Forgot about
All right. Well, Brad can't go in. I'm sorry, guys. Somebody else has got to take one for the team.
that. Johnny and Laurel. I have Laurel. Who has Johnny?
I have Johnny. Bananas.
So I think it's gonna have to be. It can't be Era 3 because I have Janae. And Corey is on Raquel's team. So.
No, yeah, it could be them. I'm okay with them.
It can be anyone but Brad.
I got Jenny and you got Josh, Raquel. So I think.
So
you
what
and I-
exactly happens if Rachel goes?
That's
Oh.
a great question.
Goes home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no girls.
Tina's on
What?
the block every week.
Oh, yeah. The stuff Tina.
But what if she goes? Is that when like Challenge is gonna say let's dismantle the eras at that point? Once there's one team without one gender.
I feel like next episode is the last episode of this Eras thing. I don't know why. I feel 6
Okay.
episodes in, like I think.
Because it
I
can
don't know.
happen. If she goes and then Tina goes, then what? You know? Like, so they have to have a backup plan. I don't know. Just throwing that out there. It'd be interesting.
Well, there probably just wouldn't be any girls going in from their side. Because there's no girls.
Well, then that defeats the purpose of the whole girl guy target thing.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to
I just
see.
need to know.
There's still a lot of twists left.
The evaluation. I'm dying to see what
Karma?
the evaluation gives people. Yeah, the
Yeah.
karma points.
The way TJ set it up this time is like it does feel like it's gonna have finals implications.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we might be waiting a while to see what goes on with those until we get to the finals. Like I hope it's just like, oh, you got the little score, can't run my final. Sorry, you made it all this way and you're going home. Like I want them to
That would be crazy.
rip
Who
someone's soul
did
out.
CT say? Like, oh, they grew on me this season too. I can't remember who he's talking about, but it was so funny watching him score.
I kind of have a feeling that karma points might come into play a little quicker than the final, just because there's still so many people left that something needs to happen in the next couple of episodes, like some kind of twist or something like that, to where the game kind of picks up, because it kind of feels like it's like we have so many people that we're not seeing a lot of people. Like we barely saw Johnny. We're not seeing people. Like I haven't seen Aviv at all really do
Right.
anything or say anything. Like I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
there's just so many people now that we can't really follow everything. So I think something is gonna happen. Some changes happening in the next few episodes. Because it's season 40, so there's gonna be more than one twist. And I don't think we've really seen a twist yet. Even I mean, the karma points. I wouldn't even. It's a twist, but it's not a season 40 type twist.
All
I'm
I
just.
know is
Fine.
I want to see the one where they're running down the hill with the balls through each other. That's my favorite challenge. I don't know what it's called. I'm sad CT, the choo-choo
Oh.
train, isn't going to be there for it, but they better put that one in there somewhere. Better be coming somewhere, because that one is one of my favorites, because they can't see who's coming and they're just like going. I love watching that one.
I can't wait for them to get on some trucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love a good moving vehicle. I am gonna say I'm not so quick to break up the eras just yet, because I like the targets. I like that. You just can't send the same people every week. Like I think Jenny's the first one like to get picked. Well, no, a couple of people got picked again, but I think I like it that you just can't pick on the same people every week, and you really have to be strategic with who you're putting the target. I don't like that everybody's volunteering. I would like to see that the people who go down there take things into their own hands and be like, I don't care if you volunteered, I'm choosing somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to happen pretty soon.
All right.
Does anybody want to trade? Nope. Okay, great.
I don't know. I think I'm good right now.
Okay, well, I'm definitely good with my team.
Unless you want to trade Devin.
No
You-
one's trading.
Laurel?
Tori? Nah, I'm good on that.
What if I put Jordan on the block?
I'll look at Jordan.
You got Johnny?
I'll give you a Derek K for.
Hey, yo.
Yeah?
I'm not knocking it. Here's the thing. As a competitor, I think he's going to be around. Oh, well, actually, no, he's not. Next week, he's getting his leg broken. I see. Nice try, dude. I see
I
what
was
you
like,
try to
if you
do.
trade, I mean, that's nice of you. If you'll take that trade, it's very kind.
Did you say nice try, Diddy?
Whoa, no Diddy.
Oh, I thought that's what I heard. Sorry.
I see those bottles of lube back there.
Chill.
1,000 bottles.
Chill. No Diddy in this podcast. So you don't want to trade Jordan?
Not for Derek K.
What about Darrell? I'll trade you Jordan for Darrell.
Even he's like, my back is broke.
Come on, man. What he won like what 4 finals? 4 championships, or is it 5 now? No,
Well, how many years ago? Because that counts.
no, he won one. You know what? I gotta say something. I feel like they never counted champs, all stars versus champs or whatever it was.
Champs versus pros.
Yeah, whatever
Yeah.
that was. They don't count it at all, right? Because I think Darrell won.
One of them was won by the guy who was like married to J-Lo for like a day.
Oh, yeah.
Like he won one of them. So are we really counting that? Competitive dancers just come on the show and like roll over?
Fair
I don't
enough.
think so.
Fair enough.
The best thing that from that was crazy ass Lolo.
Who?
Lolo.
Oh, Lola. Yeah. I like that she came on an actual challenge season and then left because she couldn't hang.
Didn't she do a reunion too? Wasn't she like hosting a reunion? Or am I remembering that?
I think so. No, she did do a reunion. She did one reunion.
Speaking of that, like memory lane, you know, it just like randomly popped in my head today from one of the challenges, and he didn't come back. Nam, you remember Nam?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You had to make a deal with one person in the house.
Jordan.
Who would you make a deal with?
Jordan.
Answer in the comments below.
All right. Well,
All right.
y'all are all getting 5 points on my karma scorecard.
I can't say the same.
Well, I'm not
Damn.
insecure like you and Laurel.
Oh, don't let me in with Laura, bro. Don't do that.
Bye.